So everyone told me that running was just, well, running, right? Like you put on your shoes, you move your legs faster, and boom, you're a runner. My coach Marcus has been telling me for months, dude, there's way more to it than that. And I kept brushing him off. I mean, come on, humans have been running for thousands of years. How complicated could it be? Well, 3 weeks ago, I finally decided to prove Marcus wrong once and for all. I was going to show him that all this proper running technique stuff was just overthinking something that should be completely natural. And let me tell you, what I discovered completely flipped everything I thought I knew about running on its head. So here's what happened. I challenged Marcus to a little experiment. I said, look, I'm going to run my usual 5K route twice. First time, I'm running exactly how I always do, just natural, intuitive running. Second time, I'll follow all your fancy technique rules, and I bet you there won't be any real difference. Marcus just smiled and said, all right, but I want you to track everything, your time, how you feel during the run, how you feel after, your heart rate if you can. Deal? Deal. Okay, so run number 1, my natural technique. I head out, and honestly, I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be easy. I'm going to prove that all this form stuff is just, overcomplicating things. I start running, and everything feels normal. I mean, this is how I've always run, right? But here's the thing. About 1.5 miles in, I start noticing some stuff. My knees are feeling a bit, stressed, and I'm breathing way harder than I usually do at this pace. By mile 3, my lower back is starting to ache, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just having an off day. I finish the run, and my time is, well, it's my usual time. Nothing spectacular, but consistent with what I normally do. Heart rate was pretty elevated throughout, but I'm thinking, all right, Marcus, let's see your magic technique beat that. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Marcus sits me down and goes through all these technique points. He's talking about posture. Apparently, I've been running with this slightly hunched forward position that I never even noticed. He shows me how to run tall with a straight spine. But here's the crazy part. He tells me to lean forward from my ankles, not my waist, and let gravity help pull me forward. I'm like, Marcus, that sounds completely backwards. Lean forward to run better? That doesn't make any sense. Then he starts talking about my stride. Apparently, I've been doing this thing called overstriding, basically landing my foot way out in front of my body instead of directly underneath. And this whole time, I thought longer strides meant faster running. Marcus explains how this is actually like putting on the brakes with every single step. And don't even get me started on cadence. He pulls out this metronome app and sets it to 180 beats per minute. He's like, try to match your foot strikes to this beat. It felt ridiculously fast and choppy at first. But the real kicker was the arm movement. I never even thought about my arms while running. Marcus shows me that I've been swinging them across my body, which was actually causing me to sway side to side and waste energy. So I'm thinking, this is a lot to remember. There's no way focusing on all this technical stuff is going to make me run better. It's going to be too much mental load, right? Wrong. So wrong. Run number 2, the proper technique run. I start off and immediately I feel different. The posture thing, running tall with that slight forward lean, it's like I can suddenly breathe deeper. I'm getting more oxygen, and it's not taking as much effort. Then I start focusing on landing my feet under my body instead of out in front. And oh my God, the difference is immediate. Instead of feeling like I'm braking with every step, it feels like I'm just floating forward. The impact on my knees completely disappears. The cadence was the weirdest part. That 180 beats per minute felt unnatural at first, but about 1/2 mile in, something clicked. My legs felt lighter, less tired. It's hard to explain, but it was like my legs were spending less time on the ground and more time just moving. And the arms, once I started swinging them straight back and forth instead of across my body, I could feel my whole body moving more efficiently, less wobbling, more forward momentum. But here's the real shocker. Mile 2 comes up on my watch, and I look down, and I'm running almost 30 seconds per mile faster than my first run. Same effort level. Actually, if I'm being honest, it felt easier. By the end of the run, I wasn't even breathing that hard. My heart rate was lower throughout, no knee pain, no backache, and I felt like I could have kept going for another mile or two easily. My final time? A full 2.5 minutes faster than run number 1. Same route, same day, same conditions. The only difference was technique. I text Marcus immediately. "Dude, what the hell just happened?" His response? "You learned how to actually run." Now, let me break this down for you, because this completely changed how I think about running. All this time, I thought natural meant correct. But what I was doing wasn't natural, it was just habitual. And those habits were making running way harder than it needed to be. The posture thing alone, running tall with that slight forward lean, it's like unlocking a cheat code. You're working with gravity instead of against it. Your breathing improves because your chest isn't compressed. Your core engages naturally to keep you stable. The stride length and cadence, this was the biggest game changer for me. Overstriding is like driving with the parking brake on. Every step, you're literally slowing yourself down and jarring your entire body. But those shorter, quicker steps, you're just bouncing forward efficiently. Less impact, more speed. Here's who this is actually for. If you've been running the same pace for months or years and can't seem to get faster, this is probably why. If you get knee pain, shin splints, or lower back issues during or after running, your technique is likely the culprit. And if you feel completely wiped out after what should be an easy run, you're probably working way harder than you need to. The honest truth about technique work is this: it feels weird at first. You're going to be thinking about a lot of things that used to be automatic. But after about 3 or 4 runs focusing on these changes, they start becoming natural. And the improvement in how you feel and perform is dramatic. Now, I don't want to oversell this. You're not going to go from a 10-minute miler to a 6-minute miler overnight just by fixing your form. But you might go from a 10-minute miler to a 9:30 miler while feeling better doing it. And for most of us recreational runners, that's huge. One thing Marcus warned me about: don't try to change everything at once. Start with posture and that forward lean. Get that feeling natural. Then work on your foot landing and cadence. Then fine-tune your arm movement. Your body needs time to adapt to these changes. Also, and this is important, pay attention to any soreness or discomfort as you make these adjustments. You're using muscles differently, so some mild muscle fatigue is normal. But if something hurts, back off and maybe get some guidance from a running coach or physical therapist. The bottom line is this: I was completely wrong about running technique. It's not overthinking something natural. It's learning to do something efficiently instead of just doing it habitually. And the difference between efficient running and habitual running is honestly night and day. So, if you've been running the same way for years and wondering why you're not getting better or why it feels harder than it should be, maybe it's time to challenge what you think you know about natural running, because what feels natural might just be what you're used to. Questions about any of this technique stuff? Drop them in the comments. I'm still learning this myself, so let's figure it out together.